all called their guarantee, but they also called the guarantee and the circumstances we did not agree to. Kappa will ask that to pay them $70 million outside the agreement, and if we didn't, they call off the guarantee. I'm not going to pay you $70 million outside the agreement. We have to negotiate and sign before I make any payment. Ghana is not just a street country. A country sitting by the roads. Now you are negotiating, you come and say, pay me this before I go. That's not the way to negotiate. And so they also called the guarantee. We said, okay, no problem. There are other plans that continue to produce. They also threatened they were going to shut down after calling the guarantee. And I said that unless they reverse that action, which was an action in bad faith, there was no way we could make progress. So we are waiting for them.
That's Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam. Now let's head to Boko, and the Boko Nabas lawyer Maxwell Agambila has reported that 15 lives were lost in the latest chieftaincy clashes in Boko, attributing the violence to security lapses. He states that the recent bloodshed was sparked by the return of a rival chief, Seydou Abagui, which he claims could have been prevented with better security oversight. Joint police and military personnel have since been deployed to restore stability in the area. Up next, we'll get to hear from Agambila. But first, Wale Municipal Chief Executive Arimia Somo Lucky Basintali shares his account of the incident with Joy News.
You know, the chief that was enslaved by the overlord of Mampro, the Naviri, to Boku, there was a court injunction on him and an arrest warrant on him. So about 2 weeks ago, a high court in Kumasi ruled in his favor. That then he was now free to move around. So when that happened, he was now preparing to go back to where he comes from, and that is Boku. So he managed to get into Boku. Then the other side, the Kusasis were also not happy. So they started some kind of problems. And then they started attacking each other. So it happens that the people who are from Boku and they are living around the Mampugu, the northeast area, they also came in to also fight on behalf of their people over there. And that led to the blockage of the roads yesterday. But swiftly, I moved in with the Municipal Security Committee and were able to solve the problem before the close of the day.
We can now hear from lawyer of the current Boko Naba, who is disappointed with the security situation and also the events that led to this bloodshed. He's been speaking on the AM show with Benjamin Akakbo.
The Boko Naba obviously is saddened by the chaos in Boku, and more so the loss of innocent lives from both sides. And we think that this is completely avoidable. This ought not to have happened. And given the situation in Boku, it is obvious that he did get some sort of security protection in order to get into Boku. That is very obvious. From our side, we are very sure that he did get some security protection.
Well, reacting to the situation on the same AM show with Benjamin Akakbo, security analyst Dr. Victor Doke says that he's calling for beefed up security and swift solutions to the chieftaincy conflict in the area.
We are going to likely have a state of emergency declared in Boko because obviously the curfews aren't doing any good. And when that happens, scenario 2 will play out, being that once there's a state of an emergency in Boko, we're trying to get Seydou out for peace to prevail, for calm to be restored. And then what will happen going to December 7th? Are the people of Boko going to be disenfranchised because of the tensions there? If Seydou is out by then we're going to have elections in Boko. If not, then you are sure to say or conclude or project that elections in Boko may not come up because of the tensions in there.
And that in itself could lead to a further escalation there, wouldn't it?
It could lead to
if the people feel disenfranchised.
Exactly. Now you're looking at who benefits from this chaos and who doesn't. Okay? And the perception we have is the Upper East or Boko itself, the Kusasis are aligned to the NDC. Majority of them are aligned to the NDC. And the majority of the Mapuches are aligned to the NPP. So technically you would realize and come to conclusions that the NDC may not benefit if a state of emergency is declared in Boko.
That's Dr. Victor Doke with the Kofi Annan Peacekeeping Training Center. Let me bring in my colleagues in the Upper East region and Northeast region, Albert Sori and of course Ilyas Tutanko, monitoring events from both sides of this particular conflict. Joins us on the line. Albert, let me start with you. Let's talk about the security situation there today.
Yes, Emefa. So what we know at the moment is that there's been a high security presence in Boko, starting from the last 24 hours or so. We've seen more security soldiers and more police officers arrive in the town. But one thing we notice is that if the citizens, the civilians are all staying indoors. The Boko town is almost deserted. And this afternoon, we are not hearing about gunshots, as was the case 2 days ago and yesterday. So there's a bit of calm now. But although the government has not yet officially declared any state of emergency, you get the sense that the people themselves are doing this. They are staying indoors for their own safety.
And Albert, we've been seeing some posters surfacing, and you've been interacting with the Regional Security Council on this. What exactly is the next line of action from their side?
Yes, so the posters are on the gate of the Boko Municipal Assembly and also on their notice board. Apparently, some people forced the workers out of the building and locked it up and wrote a notice which they pasted on several of the entrances, indicating that if this new chief is not arrested, they are going to come back and burn down the building. We do not know who did this, but that is what the people woke up this morning to see. And there is nobody at all at the assembly, so we are unable to tell how these posters came to there or who forced the assembly workers to abandon their work today. Several other places are not open today. Many private businesses have also been locked up. On the RECSEC, we haven't been able to reach the regional minister. We tried earlier this morning. We are told that he was in a meeting and would get back to us later. So we do not have any information from RECSEC as we speak.
Thank you very much. That's Albert Sorry, my colleague, joining us from the Upper East region. My other colleague, Ilyasu Tanko, is also our Northeast regional correspondent. Ilyasu, you've been monitoring the situation on the Boko Wale Wale Road after the incident last night. What's the situation today?
Well, traffic is moving on the Tamale Wale Wale Road. There seems to appear that no security arrangements, as we have been told by the security forces. As we speak, I have traveled on the road from Aga to Tamale, and the only security forces that I saw was a pickup vehicle that was parked under a tree in Wale Wale with 3 armed police in it. Also on the road around Kuala contracted on that, and I saw a pickup vehicle of the police guiding these construction workers. So this is the only security measures that we have seen. But there's traffic ongoing on the road. The vehicles that were destroyed or that was then on the road have been removed, and there's smooth traffic on this particular stretch as we speak.
Okay, that's my colleague Ilyasu Tanko giving us update on that situation after that roadblock last night. Now, let's just before we go on the break here on the Midday News, let me take you live to the Kotoka International Airport, because she went, she saw, she fought, and she conquered. And today, she's back home to a star-studded welcome. Ghana's Foreign Affairs Minister Shirley Ayokoboche was elected Secretary General, 27th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting held in Samoa. Well, the election took place amid significant anticipation as Shirley Ayokoboche competed against 2 other strong African candidates, Lesotho's former Trade Minister Joshua Satipa and Gambia's Foreign Minister Mamadou Tangara. Well, today at the Kotoka International Airport, Shirley Ayokoboche, in the company of President Akufo-Addo, were mobbed by a large crowd when they touched down. Here's Chief of Staff Akosua Fremopare.
And it's not just putting you there, it gives you support. And he has supported her, encouraged her. And today, the world has seen how good presidents nurture and leave something solid behind. I'm excited for both for her and for the president of our republic.
And my colleague Kenneth Jesse is there at the Kotoka International Airport to welcome the first Ghanaian woman Secretary General for the Commonwealth. And he joins us on the line. Kenneth, what can you tell us? Let us in on the excitement at the Kotoka International Airport.
Well, it's been full of excitement. We've seen party supporters, big waves within the New Patriotic Party, which include
the chief of staff whose sound we just heard. And then this historic feat has been celebrated by people in government as well. And with being the second female and the second African to occupy this position, Shirley Ayokoboti says she feels some sense of pride and will do everything to make Ghana proud in her new position.
This moment is one moment that is so surreal for me. I'm still soaking in the confidence that the heads of government reposed in me over today, overwhelmingly and the majority for me. I just thank them so much. We crossed several continents, me and my team, campaigning for votes, meeting with heads and leaders. I really would like to, I want to thank the heads of state, the heads of government who voted for me. I want to thank everybody, my family, my campaign team.
And we've been hearing from President Akufo-Addo as well, Ken?
Yes, we have. And President Akufo-Addo notably has been Foreign Affairs Minister before, a position which is currently being occupied by Shirley Ayokoboti, which has landed her the new position as the Secretary General of the Commonwealth. And the President has also been expressing his sense of pride in the Commonwealth nations, confiding their confidence in Shirley Ayokoboti.
As you know, this is an association of 2.7 billion people. A third of mankind is grouped in the Commonwealth. We were the first in 1957 when we became independent. The first with a Ghana organization, and it's in Africa, and all of us in Ghana should be glad for her and to wish her the very best of luck. Just to make sure that whatever support, and it's a day of unrestrained joy as far as I'm concerned. I'm very, very happy about the results, and I think Ghana generally, and Africa, because it was virtually unanimous, her choice. The whole world should have come behind her and indicated that they value us, they valued our candidate, and they confidence our ability to deliver.
President Akufo-Addo there, taking us on a quick break here on the Midday News. Live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra, Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM. We are live in all 16 regions, affiliates across Ghana, 16 regions. On X Spaces on Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. We've been talking about how we have to brace ourselves up for more power outages as grid it's unable to supply the ECG with adequate power due to gas supply challenges. We return from the break with sport, and then with 40 days until the 2024 elections, the latest Afrobarometer report reveals the Electoral Commission has become one of Ghana's least trusted public institutions, with a growing perception among Ghanaians of increased corruption within the organization. But of course, they still maintain that they will vote.
This idea of being politics or political, the appointment of such as central institutions in governance has created this problem for us.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a Petrosol station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
Efia, I've been thinking, have you noticed the changes in our community?
Kajo, things are really different now. The MPP has really made a difference.
Exactly. Free SHS, healthcare, new factories. It's like a whole new Ghana.
And don't forget, electricity is so much reliable now. I remember when we used to go days without light.
True. The NPP has done a lot to improve the basics.
Ajua is a beneficiary of free SHS, and now she is in university.
And that's the kind of leadership we need. Someone who is focused on making things better for everyone. But Efia, still there are a lot more to be done for the development of Ghana.
Absolutely, Kweju. The MPP has shown that real progress is possible.
On December 7th, let's vote to keep this positive impact going. Vote number 1 on the ballot. Vote NPP for a better and prosperous Ghana.
Time for sports.
Yes, Emefa. So, National Petroleum Authority, they emerged as champions of the Joy Sports Invitational Tournament. The event supported by sponsors including the Minerals Commission, Magdan Group, The Luckiest, Skechers, Amigo Ghana, Piva Beverages, and Caveman Watches saw 29 corporate bodies competing for glory, which was ultimately claimed by NPA as they won 4 gold medals. Now to England, and Manchester United have sacked Eric Ten Hag as manager. His assistant, Ruud van Nistelrooy, has been named as his replacement on an interim basis. United have won just 3 matches in the Premier League this season and currently sit 14th in the standings. Emefa, good news.
Why now? It's not good news, Bia.
Well, it's long overdue, but we'll take it like that.
Yes. Well, this afternoon, the Electoral Commission has emerged as one of the least trusted public institutions. According to the latest Afrobarometer survey, the Ghanaian public increasingly views the EC as corrupt. The Ghana Police Service, meanwhile, continues to be at the top of the list of most corrupt public institutions, with the office of the President, tax officials, MPs and judges and magistrates in tow. Kweku Asante has highlights of the report.
Among the key institutions, the Ghana Armed Forces, religious leaders, traditional leaders, and NGOs emerged as the most trusted. However, the Electoral Commission has now emerged in this report as one of the least trusted institutions, with barely 40 days to the crucial 2024 election. The Electoral Commission, which used to enjoy 59% public trust in 2012, now has only 28%. In this league of non-trusted institutions are the courts, the New Patriotic Party, MMDCs, and the police. On corruption, meanwhile, 3/4 of Ghanaians say the overall level of corruption in the country has worsened during the past year. The list of most corrupt institutions, as is perceived by the Ghanaian populace, are the police, which sits at the top of this list, the office of the President coming second, tax officials, MPs, judges and magistrates following, and the Electoral Commission in tow. But what will influence people's choices for president in the 2024 elections? Respondents said a candidate's honesty, his character, and campaign promises are the top issues that will affect their vote. Kweku Asante for Joy News.
So what exactly will influence the electorate's vote with just 40 days to the elections? Here's the senior research specialist with the CDD's Afrobarometer, Mavis Dom.
There is a lot of decline, particularly among elected officials and state institutions. The good news is that we still support elections. Majority do say that the last election, that's about 60% do say the last election was free and fair, or free and fair with minor problems. Majority say that when election is held, they would look at candidates' honesty, character, campaign promises are the most needy issues.
And that's the situation. Later, we'll hit the campaign trail. We know that the flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is in the OT region. And of course, the NDC's presidential candidate, John Dramani Mahama, is also in Tamale as we speak, calling on religious groups and Peace Council to speak out. Well, my colleague, Kweku Asante, joins me for the M and the J. After all the NSMQ action yesterday, what are people talking about?
NSMQ was in the trends, but Ten Hag.
What happened to Prosek?
I mean, he's lost his job, and people are talking about it. This one says, that's Piers Morgan. It says, every single word that Cristiano Ronaldo told me about Ten Hag, an explosive interview, was born out of events. He was an overpromoted, delusional, disrespectful, and totally mediocre manager. And then Prosek is also in the trend after they had been kicked out. This one says, well, Prosek just could not break the 8. Do you see what I'm seeing? That's what Hammond tweeting. Troll NSMK has posted a video that says Prosek trying to act off because they have the most trophies. This one says, boys, you did great. We thank God for how far he has brought us. And this final one says Prosek wanted to use this NSMK to do their bonfire, but I'm fat. So these
what happens to the bonfire?
Well, they'll do it, but without the trophy. MFA.
No Adonai.
No Adonai.
Okay.
Someone even said there's some Ado in there. That's why.
And that's how we end today's edition of the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Living Word with Pastor Men's to build faith to become. Episode 1 is up next. I am Emefa Apawu. Have a good afternoon. Thanks.